Hey there. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about moving from separation consciousness to unity consciousness. So, where do we begin with that? Well, we are all in this beautiful awakening process. And you are awakening and remembering that we are all one. We are all unified in these higher realms and higher levels of a consciousness. So that meaning, it all exists. And if you are coming from the perception or the lens of separation consciousness, that's just one reality. That's just one way of seeing this world, of seeing your realities before you. And what your opportunity here is to awaken to that larger and broader perspective called unity consciousness. So today I'm just going to go into a few ways in which you can begin to start aligning and shifting and I like the word aligning back to who you truly are, that broader self perspective. And it may not even be a self exactly. It's not really. It's more like infinite awareness is a good word I like to use. So aligning back to your infinite awareness, where unity consciousness is the norm. That's how your infinite awareness is perceiving. So here are a few ways to do that. The first is noticing where you're holding fear. So, fear is separation consciousness, and any place that you notice your breath is taken away in the negative sense, not breathtaking, but taking your breath away. Those are those traumatic moments that need to be integrated. Um, if even if you have them, once a day, once a week, whatever, it doesn't matter. Each of those moments sort of tie you to separation consciousness. It weighs you down because you know you were bopping in and out of realities, out of through lenses all the time. And so, what our work here is to do is to lift, and I like to call it fluffing, like fluffing those dark corners, those places that inside of you that believe you are in separation or there's fear to hold. Generally it's our inner children or those it could also be parallel lives, other lives, past lives, whatever you want to call it, that just need a little attention, need a little reminder that we're choosing to live in a loving world, a world of unity. And so, noticing it will happen for you on a daily basis. If you get triggered and you go into trauma, those are your moments, those are your opportunities to really soothe yourself back to safety, back to this unified field, and love yourself back in, love those parts of you, those aspects back in. And what I didn't mention earlier is that as we're moving into unity consciousness, it's remembering that we are one with everyone, people around us, all of us, and we're also one. All the aspects of us are one, and that's some people call that soul retrieval. The work you do to unify those parts of you. But what I'm talking about, this is soul retrieval. Absolutely, you are noticing those moments where you become triggered. They take you back to those moments of trauma as a child or another life, and you are suing that soothing them and cooing them back into unity consciousness. So that's one. The next thing is noticing where you go into comparison. So comparing yourself to other people, whether you put them up on a pedestal or whether you're putting yourself on a pedestal, these this action, this behavior, this way of thinking, is really continuing that old saga that we are separate, that you have to compete. It's a dog eat dog world. Some people say it's fun to compete, and I'm not going to say don't go to your swim competition or your basketball game. I'm just saying that notice those tendencies you have that really put you down or other people down. If you're putting others down, you're trying to make yourself feel better. If you're putting yourself down by saying, "Oh, they're so much better than me," or "I'm jealous of them," or "I'll never be as good as them," you're separating yourself further from the whole, from other people, from the whole unified field. So anytime you catch yourself doing that, don't beat yourself up. That would be, again, separating yourself, because you're putting yourself down. It's not an integrative tool. So don't beat yourself up, but just notice, observe, and really find a way to shift that. You will know what that looks like for you. For me, what I've done over the years, because I have definitely gone into those moments of feeling, let's say, jealous of someone who's doing exactly what I want to be doing. Well, why can't I be there? And, just feeling that jealousy. And just what I started to do is I just looked at them and I said, hey, if they're in my reality, then that's a sign that I can do that too. And you know what? In fact, they're my sister. Let's say it's a woman, she's doing what I want to do. She's my sister. Like, I love her. And then as much as I can, take it a step further. She is me. She's a mere reflection of me. Um, so yay. I mean, she's doing it. Like, I'm going to do it. We're all going to, like, just celebrating her. So if you can work your way from jealousy to actually celebrating someone else, who you were comparing yourself to, that's a huge feat. That's awesome. But take it, at your own pace and see what you can do. But after a while, if you keep catching yourself, it's all moment by moment. And as you catch yourself in those moments, you're gonna watch your whole world shift. It's incredible. I know it has for me. It's really freaking beautiful. And now I look at strangers and I see a lot. I mean, I see beauty in all, all strangers. Really, truly, I'm not making this up, but it is the inner work I've done to not, do the judgment thing, which we're going to talk about too here, which we might as well go into since I'm bringing it up. The next thing is judgment. So if you catch yourself judging other people, that's, again, another way you're cutting yourself off. It's, similar to comparison, but just any kind of judgment. Just notice it. And if you're, judging them, like, just wonder, ask yourself, what is this? Where is this coming from? Observe that voice of judgment, and just know that, the less you judge yourself, the less you're going to want to judge others. And both ways too. The less you judge others, the less you're going to judge yourself. Just, start to get in the flow, and notice those moments, observe, forgive yourself, let it go. It's okay. Shift it on the dime. So sometimes if I would see hear my inner voice and it was judging someone, oh, they really shouldn't be wearing those jeans. They don't look good on them. Well, you know, go in, say, cancel. That woman is, rocking her own style, and good for her. Like, I just flip it all the way. I mean, I just go there and just really, just catch yourself and start making those flips, um, those absolute changes in your mindset, and you will again see a big shift in the trajectory of where you're headed with judgment, to the point where eventually you're just going to be cheering on yourself, you're cheering on others, and those old thoughts aren't even really a part of your reality. So the last one that I'm going to share with you today, and there are so many, but these are really great ones to start with. The last one is forgiveness. And forgiveness is such an important one, because when we carry that resentment, when we harbor the unforgiveness, the anger, whatever that energy, towards other people or ourselves, we are, again, lifting these heavy bags with us. We call people who, we start dating, we say they have baggage. Well, that's the baggage, these kinds of things, these heavy, burdensome energies that no longer serve us. What we can do is learn from those situations, but not carry any resentment or energy. And the energy shouldn't feel like anything less than yesterday's lunch. It should just, really, it shouldn't be a heavy memory other than what the lesson that you learned from those experiences. And so, forgiveness can look so many different ways. And again, what that looks like for you. For me, uh, I like to, if I'm doing a practice of forgiveness, I'll close my eyes and I'll just ask my consciousness to show me if there's anything I'm holding on to, that's heavy, burdensome from my past, from my experiences, and allow those things to come up for me. And you might know right off the top of your head, oh yeah, I have not forgiven my ex-husband. Awesome. You know where to look. So, take that experience. And what I like to do is write a letter to the person. And I just get everything out. I get it all out. It's not a letter I would ever send. And I just, write it however it needs to come out. Just blah, throw it up, get it out on paper. You did this and blah, 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 blah. And it's all okay. It feels good just to get all that out. And then you can rewrite the letter and see, how it might feel a little softer now that you got all that out. At the end of this practice, you might even do a third version of that. And see what transpires. But you might surprise yourself by after you get all of that out, if there's maybe a little more room for, forgiveness or understanding. And if not, that's okay. But if you find this practice that that's not working for you, I would say hold the intention to forgive, as much as you can. Every day, every day. Say, I really have this intention. Ask your true ancestral guides, your infinite awareness, to support you in releasing and letting go of any harboring resentment or unforgiveness. And see what comes up for you. Watch for signs. But for the letter exercise, by the end of it, see if you can kind of work your way into a little more. Release and understanding, and see also where you can take responsibility yourself for your playing your part and your role in that experience. Because the truth is that there are no victims. There's only dynamics. And see what role you played in your own learning experience and what you can gain from that experience, and see where you can find some understanding from the other person's side. So that's what I have for you today. Moving from separation to unity consciousness. Like I said, there's so many things to remember, in this process, and that's not to overwhelm. That's just an exciting thing to know, is that we we have a lot of things to move through, but yet we have each other. The more and more we awaken, the more and more we're going to all help each other. So, like me making this YouTube video, for instance, and maybe your best friend who, is remembering that she can support you as well in your hard times, and, can be there. In those old days when we were all in separation consciousness, we were just sitting in dark corners being like, oh man, like I'm so alone. That's because we believed it and we were manifesting that. But we are all coming back online and remembering that we've got each other's back. And so, I'm here for you. We're all doing this together. And I'm so honored to connect with you today. And I wish you a beautiful now. And I will look forward to seeing you next time.